Hi guys, welcome to my coffee show. My name is Jack and today we will play with pack prep. So we will try to answer the question what you really need to do when you prepare your coffee for extraction. In one of my previous videos I started that topic. So many of you commented that you would like to see me comparing different ways of preparing the pack and taste each of those shots. So I decided to do it today. The difference in today's video will be that I want to invite you to take part in the experiment. So I will run 4 shots and I would like you to run those 4 shots as well. As long as you have a semi-automatic espresso machine, I guess even something like lever machine would do. As long as you have the way to extract espresso, you should be able to participate in this experiment. My 4 shots that I want to compare today, it will be, let's assume that the tamping is necessary. Okay, because that would be a topic for another video, to tamp or not to tamp and how not tamping influences the coffee. But for today, let's assume that the tamping is necessary. So I will pull 1 shot. The coffee is already dialed in. I will pull the 1 shot just using the tamping. So I will make the coffee bed even with my hand and then I will tamp. That's it. Another shot I will put with tamping and with the leveler. As a tamper, I will use my palm tamper from Normcore. So the second shot will be tamper and leveler. So I will use the distribution tool from Normcore as well. The third shot will be tamping and I will use WDT tool, my homemade WDT tool. The fourth shot, I will use all of that. And then we will see how the extraction looks like and is there any noticeable difference in a taste. I will leave my affiliate links in the description below. So if you want to check any of the equipments that I use, I mean, the wine cork you have to find yourself. The coffee we're using today, it's Heart and Graft coffee roaster, and this particular one is a Miriam Perez. It's one of my favorite coffees, kind of my go-to coffee. Very, very nice flavor notes. So this is naturally processed coffee and the flavor notes are rum, raisins, mulled wine and candied orange. So far I couldn't find the mulled wine, but I mostly use this coffee for milk-based drinks. It's kind of think about it as a raisins soaked in rum, kind of a boozy, lovely, lovely, lovely coffee. That will be the profile that we use today. They call it a classic Italian profile. So short pre-infusion, and then the pressure quickly ramp up to 9 bars, and it stays for 9 bars. I will be aiming for about 30-ish seconds of extraction. I mean, that's how I dialed in the coffee. We will see, obviously, probably there will be some varieties in a time of extraction depending on which tool we use. And then what's interesting here, the temperature will be, for the Decent, that's a high temperature, 94 degrees. So Decent claims that this is a profile mostly for a kind of a darker roasted coffee, that it's very easy to extract. My coffee is medium, so again we will see how it goes. But the reason I've chosen this profile, because I'm inviting you to take part in the experiment, and not many of you got the Decent. And even if you do have a Decent, if you use those advanced profiles, the machine itself adjusts a lot. So I wanted to show you that kind of a pure extraction. Okay, so we can find out if there is any issues, if there's any issues with the coffee flow, etc., etc. And then most of you have machine with only 1 pressure profile, and probably it will be something like this. So our results will be more comparable. I think I've talked a lot. I need some coffee. You want to see some results, so let's pull a first shot. So the first shot, just coffee and the tamper, nothing else. Today I'm using the niche. and I am on the setting number 11. 18 grams of coffee in, 36 grams of coffee out. Okay, so slightly uneven the extraction, but no obvious channeling so far. So here what we're aiming for, we want the water flow and the coffee flow to be about even, and that's what we got. That double dip at the beginning that they suggest there should be, this one I don't understand, because that double dip is not in a description of this profile. The machine itself holds the pressure, and it will do everything to hold the pressure at 9 bars. So if it goes slightly up, it automatically lowers down. As this line suggests, the water flow should be higher, but I don't know why. On my machine, the water flow, it never follows the line. Extraction of the espresso, so that brown line, so slightly above the blue line. Overall, it almost covers the suggested line of the espresso. So I guess the shot, to my untrained eye, the shot looks okay, and it was just tamping. Today will be the day when you probably may see me over caffeinated. 4 shots in a short space of time, that could kill me. But let's have a look. Maybe a kind of a slightly chocolatey aroma, but nothing obvious in the smell. Maybe a little bit of almonds. No obvious aroma from this particular shot. This is a profile that I like for milk-based drinks, because it usually provides a bit more bitterness, and it works nicely with the milk. But, well, there is a lot of bitterness, and they call it a classic Italian, and that could be it. That could be actually a classic Italian. That's how the coffee in the old-fashioned coffee shops tastes like. Lots of bitter notes. There is a little bit of the sourness in the background. So I would say I can taste lots of bitterness and the candied oranges. So no raisins, no sweetness, no rum. The first thing that hits you, it's the bitterness, and then you can, it's still, whatever it is still far better than most of my specialty coffee shops. And I've been walking around talking to baristas. Obviously I would never say into the face that the coffee is not good, but so far I only found one independent coffee shop that they had a good espresso. That I'm digressing now, but the reason, by the way, why they don't sell good espressos is that nobody drinks espresso. Or not many people drink espresso, and they sell mostly milk-based drinks. And for a milk-based drink, bitterness, it's actually desired, because it creates nice flavor together with the milk. So in this shot, if I was scoring it from 1 to 5, this one I would say 2.5. Interestingly, the extraction and everything was kind of okay-ish. Because that's another reason we're testing it. So taste is one thing, but another thing is how different tools help or otherwise with the extraction. So the next one will be tamper and leveler. The first shot took for 35 seconds. Looks okay-ish. I think a little bit lighter, the flow is a bit lighter. And it took precisely 35 seconds. The flow very even. Honestly, it looks almost identical to me. I mean, you will be able to see on this on your screen, or you will be able to go back to the previous one. This one looks almost identical, and the time of extraction is precisely 35 seconds. There shouldn't be really any difference in the taste then, we will see. Many people claims that the distribution tool, I've got a wedge, there's a different one, the kind of OCD, it only works on the top, very top of the coffee bed, and it doesn't really influence anything. For whatever it's worth, the crema looks a bit better, the kind of a thicker crema. Getting kind of a green, more of a green aroma, but okay. Now I'm starting to worry. I mean, there was always a chance that drinking multiple shots, your tolerance to the bitterness will go up and you won't be able to feel it. So I wash my mouth with the water before tasting each shot. Bitterness is still there, but now it might be a coincidence, guys. So that's why I'm inviting you to this test, because otherwise, for this to have a degree of scientific validity, it has to be taken multiple times, and that would be too much for me, and I would waste so much of the coffee. But bitterness is still there, but it's not the first taste anymore. So I'm tasting the sourness a little bit more, and then I'm getting the bitterness. So the shot is kind of reversed, but still I'm not getting, so kind of more like a winey. So that bitterness, which was difficult to describe to any taste in a first shot, here becomes kind of a more of the winey tarts, but still no raisins, no rum. And in the first shot, the taste, the sourness was kind of more orangey. This is a more winey sourness. Okay, I honestly, when I decided to do this test, I thought that at least 3 of those shots will be very, very similar. Well, the first one I scored 2.5 out of 5. This one, I'll give it 3. Slightly better. So now the third shot will be WDT and the tamper. Okay, so we've got flow and some channeling, of course. Now, okay, now we're talking. It runs fast. Looks delicious. Looks, I think, like the best shot so far. It took 30 seconds. 30 seconds, so 5 seconds faster than the previous shots. Have no explanation why. There were some things going on with the extraction, so it wasn't perfectly even. By the way, I had to re-record part of the video. If you notice any difference in the background, you know why. Sweet green smell. Kind of a balanced shot. That bitterness is still there. If I wanted to find the best profile for this coffee, it wouldn't be this one. And if it had to be this one, I would tweak a few things. I would lower the temperature. It's slightly on the bitter side, but this particular shot is nicely balanced. But there is a sourness there is a bitterness. The issue is that I'm not getting the flavor notes that I know this coffee has. Better than the first one. Kind of similar to the second shot. So I give it 3 out of 5. Not great. Why it only took 30 seconds while the previous 2 shots took 35, I have no idea. If you do, leave the comments. So for the last, we will do the shot with everything. So it will be WDT, leveler, and tamper. Yeah. Okay. Don't tell me that. Perfect. Okay, it looks nice. The espresso is flowing a bit too fast for my liking. It took 30 seconds, so about the same as the shot with WDT but without the leveler. Extraction, I mean, I don't remember exactly how it was, but it looks very similar to the previous one. So, the fourth shot, I have to be honest with you, I've repeated those tests few times. I mean, what you see is the best results, but I was curious, I repeated it a few times, and every now and then, even with WDT, with everything, I was getting a little bit of channeling here and there. The fastest shot I got was 28 seconds, and the slowest were the first two shots, 35, so I never went over 35 seconds. I weighted the coffee before and after, so the coffee dosage was the same. Sometimes, you know, even the WDT, you don't repeat everything perfectly. You're not a machine. Even the machine is not a machine. Sometimes there is a second of difference or something, so I'm not obsessed. But if you can explain why the shot with tamper and why the shot with tamper and leveler took 35 seconds, while shot with WDT and tamper and shot with WDT, leveler and tamper took 30 seconds, well, please do. It smells exactly the same. I think I know what that smell is. It's actually not the sweet green. It smells like a green tea. It smells like now I know. It smells like a green tea. And that's, but it's exactly the same as the previous one. There is a difference. Oh, thank God. I thought, well, no, if all the shots were exactly the same, that would be a disastrous video. I mean, probably it still will be, but probably with each shot I build up the resilience to bitterness. So this shot is the least bitter of all of them, and the sourness is a little bit magnified, which I actually enjoy. There is a sweetness there, we kind of getting the winey flavors. There is a still bitterness in the background, but especially the first shot we took just with the tamper there was a bitterness first and then something. The second shot was more mixed. The third one, there was still some harshness there, but I liked it. This shot is the least harsh, the most complex. There are still no flavor notes I associate with this coffee, and I know this coffee well, but it is probably the most pleasant I had so far. So how to explain the difference in taste? Possibly, and correct me if I'm wrong, possibly the more even the extraction, the better the extract flavors. You would be able to compare. You will see better than I when I was recording that, because I was trying to concentrate on a few things, but you will be able to see the extraction. I have to say, because I've repeated that test twice or more, I have to say the test, even though the extraction was not always perfect, the results kind of agree one with another. So I'm getting about the same results. So this shot, I would score it 3.5. And I scored 3.5 in a previous attempts as well. So for whatever reason, when I use WDT, leveler and tamper, I'm getting the best flavor results. Now, will it be the same with you? Please do the test and let me know, because I'm curious. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because when I taste the last shot, I know I should expect the most, and kind of psychosomatically I find the differences. So please let me know in the comments what are your findings. My final findings is the shot with WDT and leveler was slightly better than the previous shots, and that's what I will stick with. So are there any more crazy tests you would like me to do? If you have any good ideas, please leave the comments. As you can see, I do listen. Sometimes it takes me a month or two to record the video that you requested, but especially if it's something that is interesting, I will at some point definitely do. Definitely click like if you haven't subscribed, and don't forget to do the tests with me and leave your results in the comments. But for today, thank you very much for watching. My name is Jack. This is my coffee show. These are my crazy tests, and hopefully I will see you soon. Thank you. Bye.